Hello, world. Welcome to episode 98 of the Jimmy Canz Show. It is a classic supercard retrospective, Clash of the Champions 11 Coastal Crush. Let's get into it. All right. This was an NWA event promoted by World Championship Wrestling, held on June 13th, 1990, from Charleston, South Carolina, at the McAllister Fieldhouse on the campus of the Citadel. Attendance was about 4,100. So the capacity of the venue is 6,000. So we're at about 68% capacity. Not too bad. 10 match card. Action called by Jim Ross, Bob Cottle, and actually just 4 tag matches out of 10 here. What? I might actually be excited about this WCW card for a change. And as always, this was broadcast live, as all clashes were, on TBS, the Super Station. So let's get into the card. Our opening contest was a tag team contest. The team of the Southern Boys, Steve Armstrong and Tracy Smothers, take on the Fabulous Freebirds, consisting of one Michael P.S. Hayes and Jimmy Jam Garvin. Match goes about 7.5 minutes. Southern Boys get the W in this one over the Wily veterans with a diving headbutt to the small of the back of Garvin as he was attempting to cover Smothers. Kind of a rough one away. Smothers and Armstrong's gimmick here, complete with Confederate soldier uniform themed coats and hats and Confederate battle flag laden tights, et cetera, et cetera. It was, over with the mainly Southern audience of WCW at the time, but even in 1990, this was not very PC, even, by the standards of the time. And this gimmick doesn't last, incredibly long. It's only around for about 8 months before they get renamed and repackaged in February of 91. So, yeah. Next up, Bam Bam Bigelow with Sir Oliver Humperdinck, the Big Kahuna himself, in his corner, taking on Tommy Wildfire Rich. Under 4 minutes. Not a lot really goes on in this. Rich is awarded the match when Bam Bam is DQ'd for not breaking a chokehold on him at the 5 count. So not a whole lot to discuss in this one. I guess trying to get Bam Bam over as, big monster, but his run here is pretty forgettable in WCW at this point in time. But I digress. Let's get on with it. Next up, Captain Mike Rotunda teaming up with the Z-Man to take on the Samoan SWAT team, consisting of Fatu and the Samoan Savage. I guess WCW has cooled quite a bit on the SST at this point, as the makeshift team of Rotunda and Z-Man actually get the win in this one. About the 5.5 minute mark, the illegal man of the team, Rotunda, hits the Steamboat small package spot for the win. So it was a little bizarre. It was pretty heel tactic by a now babyface Rotunda, to come in as the illegal man and sneak the win. So it's a weird booking decision there. Like I said, it's signs that WCW is ready to move on from the Samoans. Really, their push is pretty much dead at this point. Flying Brian takes on Mean Markkalas, who is now managed by Paul E. Dangerously. Mean Mark gets the win over Pillman, pretty dominating fashion here, a little over 5.5 minutes after a stun gun. Pillman had all of about 15 seconds of offense total in this bout. So, looking like WCW may be seeing something in this Mean Mark guy. I don't know. Maybe his career might come to something somewhere. So, let's wait and see. Now we have chapter, what is this, 9,678 in the feud of the Expresses. as Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson challenge the NWA United States challenge for the NWA United States Tag Team titles as they face James E. Cornette's Midnight Express, Sweet Stan Lane, Beautiful Bobby Eaton. I mean, I don't know, honestly, what else I can really say. I mean, these two teams have faced each other so many times up to this point. It's just, they're always good matches, but they all tend to blur together, really, in my opinion, because they just happen so often. Rock and Roll end up getting the win in this one via DQ when Lane puts his hands on the official to break up a Rock and Roll pinfall attempt around the 12-minute mark. So, the Rock and Roll get the win, but the Express maintain their heat and retain their titles in underhanded fashion. A recently returned Horseman member, once again, Barry Windham, taking on Doug Furness, a power lifter turned wrestler. WCW booking the Horseman in typical fashion here, Windham winning in over 5.5 minutes with his feet on the ropes for leverage. So using the heel tactics to get the win over the young Furness. Sid Vicious, now representing the Horsemen with Ole Anderson, takes on NWA United States Champion, the Total Package, Lex Luger, in a non-title match. Luger comes out without the title. Now, if this is the Clash of the Champions, why is this non-title? And why bother with this match at all? To be quite honest, as Luger wins in 26 seconds after just one clothesline. I don't know. Sid was squashed by Luger in under 30 seconds. What was the point of this? I don't get it. I really don't. This is just an odd booking decision. And it was a squash in a non-title match too. I don't know. Whatever. NWA World Tag Titles. NWA World Tag Titles are on the line next as Rick and Scott Steiner get their rematch with Theodore Erlong's team of Doom, Hacksaw Butch Reed and Ron Simmons. Doom continue their dominance as they retain the titles in a little over 11 minutes here. Reed clocked Scotty with knuckle dusters behind the official's back, allowing Simmons to cover Scott for the 3. Rick covered Reed at the same time, but Simmons and Scott were the legal men. So, it's kind of weird. It's like, I understand they're trying to make the Steiner still look strong, but, Rick wasn't the legal man and he covered the legal man. So it's just kind of odd. If you want and I know the heels use underhanded tactics, but, I think you should have made it so that, the legal heel man covered the illegal babyface man or something like, what I mean? To try and do what they were going for here, just kind of odd. But when you look back, Doom was booked very strong during their run. Name another team at this point, late 80s, early 90s, with, underhanded or not, with decisive wins over both the Road Warriors and the Steiners in such quick succession, that Doom had. So, yeah. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff takes on NWA World TV Champion and member of the Horseman, the Enforcer himself, Double A. Arn Anderson, in yet another non-title match. Does WCW have something against singles title matches? I mean, WCW at this time is like bizarro WWE today. WWE can't be bothered with tag teams, and WCW now seems they can't be bothered with any singles titles outside of the world title. I mean, it's just odd. This was a great match, as one would expect with these two individuals. Orndorff and Anderson, just two phenomenal wrestlers. Two guys who know how to tell a story in the ring. Two guys that can go. But Orndorff wins this non-title bout when he reverses a small package. The small package of Anderson back into one of his own. So love that spot, but it's just still, as good as this match was, it's still odd watching Paul Orndorff as a babyface. Anyway, and then last but not least, on the night was the NWA World Title match. As Junkyard Dog challenges Nature Boy Ric Flair, who has Ole Anderson in his corner. Uncharacteristically short Flair match in terms of length, goes only about 6.5 minutes. But typical result, JYD gets the win by DQ due to Horseman interference. So there you have it. That was our evening. Rating time, 10 belt scale. You all know by now. That's my scale. It's only 4 tag matches out of 10. So I had high hopes. But, as I already said, 2 singles titles are on this show and not defended. 3 DQ finishes. Orndorff and Anderson was the only singles contest given any real time. The rest of the singles contests were an afterthought. Tag matches, dominated ring time. They think the tag matches averaged about 9 minutes apiece. Singles matches only average about 5.5 minutes each. And it was a card really and honestly that didn't do much of anything, in my opinion, to help build toward the upcoming Great American Bash. Looking at the matches, I don't think we see anything that helps build the story more toward Bash and what direction they were going here. It's just like a wasted card. Got to rate it though, 10 belt scale. I'll give this show 4 out of 10. Adequate wrestling, but it's just no real story. So there you have it. Our next classic Supercard retrospective we will discuss will be the aforementioned Great American Bash 90. So wherever you are, I hope you're all doing well. Take care of one another, and I will see you all when I see you.